just survive. Oh, you will see me thrive. Can't write my story.
Hello everyone, Weeper What Ifs here to bring you part 4 year to What If Deku was Kirishima's twin sister. Now, you know where this is going. USJ time. As the students are on the bus heading to the USJ, as they're all talking about what would happen and what is going to happen, and is super excited. As well, they get there and they see, and when they get off the bus, they see the Pro Hero 13 greeting them to the USJ. As old Chaco gets really excited. It says, 13, I'm your biggest fan. As they have a small conversation about how their quirks are super similar. As they all walk inside, while 13 was explaining what they were going to do, Ijira notices a portal, and tons of people walk out and said, Mr. Aizawa, are those people those people work for the USJ? As she points to the portal. As Mr. Aizawa simply said, they're villains. 13, protect the children. As he rushes at the group of villains and just starts beating their asses. As 13 as Shigaraki notices the 1A trying to leave, as he orders Kirigiri to split them up within the USJ. As he does that, not before putting 13 out of commission. As the kids are split up throughout the USJ pretty evenly. As Ijira is unfortunately left with Bakugo. As all they do is they try to find the others. As when they get to the main hall of the USJ again, they see this big black creature, roughly the size of All Might, beating down Aizawa. Almost instantly seeing this sight, Ijira runs over to the creature and punches it away from Aizawa. As while the creature is stunned, she checks on Aizawa to see if he's alive, and he is. As she turns to Shigaraki and Kirigiri, which is next to the creature now, and asks, what the hell is that thing? This creature is called a Nomu. And the Nomu was designed to kill All Might. As Ijira looked over to the Nomu and noticed that the hole she made with the punch into its chest is gone. As the Nomu tries to blitz Ijira, as she quickly used her quirk to harden herself, as she's knocked back by the Nomu's hit. As she felt it. As she barely felt it. As she laughs the head off and gets into the fight with the Nomu. As she's noticing every bit of damage the Nomu regenerates from, it gets stronger and faster. As it gets to the point where she hardens her skin, and the Nomu, and one of the Nomu's hit will really hurt. As this occurs, and it surprises her, as not even her enhanced quirk, thanks to 1-4, can withstand the Nomu's hits anymore. As the pain just shoots through her while her body is still unscathed. As this is when All Might bursts through the door and quickly blitzes the lower villains before the fight with the Nomu begins. That goes like normal. As, well, Mr. Aizawa is taken to the hospital. Well, as when they get back to UA, Nezu announces to them that they're gonna be building dorms and you'll be living on school campus. And while the dorms are being built, you have 2 weeks off. Do whatever you like. As, well, during the 2 weeks, Ijira, Kirishima, and Mina would train together. Early in the mornings, do their training regimen to get stronger. And then, during the days, just hang out and relax, have fun. As during one of their hangouts, they see Bakugo. As they're really surprised to see Bakugo. As they all walk up to Bakugo and start talking to him, as he's really annoyed by this. But for some reason, every time he sees Ijira, he feels happy. As he tolerates them talking to him, as Well, they invite him to hang out for the rest of the day, and he agrees. So, for the remainder of the 2 weeks after that day, Bakugo trained with them and hung out with them. As well, they see, as well, when they get back into class, they see Mommy Aizawa walk through the door. As they're relieved to see he's alright. As Aizawa announces that, well, until Aizawa fully recovers and they're settled into the dorms, they will be getting it easy. But once they're settled in and Aizawa's fully healed, they will be getting triple the work to catch up on what work they've actually missed. As Aizawa gives them the day off, as they all head to the dorms and unpack. As we'll come to the common room when everyone is hanging out. As Yuaka notices Ijida talking to Bakugo, as for some reason she feels jealous. And for her jealousy, she can't quite figure it out. So she leaves it alone, for now at least. As well, as Kirishima and Kaminari start doing some really dumb crap, while Momo, and at the same time, Momo and Ida are telling him not to do that. As Ichida's just laughing at her brothers and his friend's stupidity. So is Mina. As the few weeks go pretty smoothly. As we'll get to when Aizawa's fully recovered. Now, they get a lot of work. And I mean a lot of work in the classroom. And they get hellish training. As even Ijida can't keep up with both. As by the end of almost every single day, they just sleep until like 5 and then go eat dinner and then go back to bed. As yeah, the day's that tiring. As we'll do another time skip for a few more weeks, as Aizawa notices that their final exams are coming up. No, fucking wrong thing. That the UA Sports Festival is on its way. As well, he's gonna take it easy on the schoolwork, and you'll be training for 95% of the time, and up until the UA Sports Festival. As well, they get the training. As Aizawa pairs them into groups that would be help focus on each other's quirks. As Ichida's put with Bakugo and Yuaka. As Ichida's Ichida is just staying in her hardened state, while Bakugo is throwing his strongest explosions at her, and Yuaka's just dropping her onto the floor while in her hardened state. And it's very tiring for all three of them. Because Ichida's quirk relies on stamina. The more stamina she has, the longer she can stay in her hardened state. And it's not having an ill effect on Bakugo because, well, the more he sweats, the bigger his explosions are, actually. But he's getting so tired, he can't even lift his arms up enough to actually do a proper explosion. Well, when we get to Aka, even using her quirk for a few seconds makes her feel sick. As this training goes on for 2 weeks, and then we get to the UA Sports Festival. As we get we get to the first battle. And because it's UA Sports Festival, I'm going to use this, but she's wearing the UA Sports uniform. As the first battle is Shinzo and Ichida. As Ichida studied up on everyone's quirks, because she knows that she doesn't need to rely on her quirks all the time. So she studied up on everyone's quirk to come up with a foolproof strategy to beat them. As straight from the get-go, she powers up one for all to 6%, blitzes Shinzo before he could mind control her and knock him out of the ring. As it happened in a full second. As everyone is shocked. And Vlad is pissed because if you remember, Shinzo's part of 1B. And Vlad is just pissed. As him and Aizawa come up with a bet for the first battle. As everything else is just... As all the other battles go to normal, as till we get to Yuaka, as we get to the semi-finals, Bakugo is already qualified for the finals, and, well, Ichida is up against Yuaka to get to the finals. As, well, she tries to blitz Yuaka before she could touch her fingers, but she's a little too slow as Yuaka quickened her reflexes so she can touch her fingers together way faster. As now, As now she's floating as she gets to the very top of the stadium as Yuaka drops her as everyone's worried about Igida's life as well she's as well as she as then she suddenly hits the ground. People are yelling, disqualify her, she killed. As when the smoke clears, they see Igida standing with her skin hard in her hardened state. As Yuaka's surprised that she can even stand after that far of a drop. As then Igida quickly drops her hardened state and blitzes Yuaka. But instead of knocking her out of the ring, well, she couldn't. She grabbed Yuaka's hands before they could touch. Picked her up and literally judo threw her out of the ring. As we get to the Yuaka's upset that she lost, but she's also happy to see Igida reach the finals. And the same can be said about Bakugo. As well, don't worry guys, after this what if I'll start scripting them. As their battle begins. As instead of Igida blitzing Bakugo, Bakugo used his explosions to try to blitz Igida, but she managed to get into a hardened state before any damage could be dealt to her, as she's just standing there, tanking all of Bakugo's explosions. As Bakugo's getting really annoyed by this, as his temper starts showing. As this fight doesn't last long, when Bakugo made a mistake in between his explosions, Igida quickly grabbed him and chucked him out of the ring. As Igida is crowned the winner of this year's sports festival, as Bakugo vows to win next year. As Igida just simply pats him on the head and says, sure, sure, before walking away. As we turn back to Bakugo and he's blushing. As I'm gonna end it here, guys. So, yeah. I have a question for you. Well, it's more like a vote. Comment down below who you want Igida to be shipped with. Owaka or Bakugo? For more comments for one name, I'll do the ship. Or it could be trolling you, and Owaka and Bakugo are both the ships. Who knows? But honestly, I am allowing you to vote who you want the ship to be, just in case I actually do go for the ship. So, comment, like, and or subscribe, turn on the post notification bell to help me get better at making what ifs, and peace. I said peace.